Well, welcome back to Taddy's Restorations, everybody. It's been a long time since the last update, but here we are. So let's move on inside and see what's been happening. Just working on the little job of today, which is fit the vanity to the toilet. So this is the vanity. I've sort of pulled it apart. Added these little strips down the side to fill in the gaps. I just went to Bunnings and got some vinyl coated pine trim pieces. Added those there so I can pack it out and attach it to the wall. Disassembled the top, pulled the doors off. It is a second-hand vanity, so it already had some holes drilled in it. I have got this little sheet of MDF here that I will cover the back of the vanity with, drill new holes, but it will cover up the old holes. And I'll probably buy a new shelf because I don't think the shelf hole will be in the correct spot, but we'll see. So it goes in here. I'm just about to go and turn the water off, take these taps off, cap them off. I've trimmed off the wastewater pipe and about to test fit and see how the vanity sits in there. Come back shortly and we'll have a look at what it looks like sitting in there. Got the vanity test fitted in here. I think the cabinet can stay in there. It just needs screwing off now. I have levelled it. Fairly happy with where it's at. As you can see, that's why I added the strips down the side of the cabinet, because the top overhung either side, and I'm not too worried about this gap up, down around the side. The strip that I put up the back there, I will use a packer and screw that off to the wall either side and to the back. The top comes off fairly easily. I'm not too worried about that gap because I'm going to run subway tiles around the edges, and by the time the glue goes on and the tile and a bit of silicone, you'll never see the gap. And you sort of need the gap to finagle the cabinet in there. So it has got adjustable feet on it. Use those to level it. The waste pipe comes up there. I just need to run to the hardware store and grab another angled piece. But I'll test fit the shelf and it will work okay. The waste pipe and the S-trap fitted, it will come down to there. I just need another, I think they're a 15-degree angle piece, and I'll be able to marry that in. Maybe a little bit tight around the water fittings, but these have got a fairly deep nut on them, so it may go in there. I'm just not quite sure. Once I put the new backing board on the back, piece of MDF to cover the old holes up, whether they'll be quite deep enough or not. While I'm at the hardware store, I might grab a couple of extension pieces for the pipe. It may make it easier to fit. So I'll pull the vanity top back off and secure the cabinet to the wall. Run to the hardware store, grab those couple of bits and pieces, then I can refit the vanity top and plumb it up. It will be a little bit tricky down the back here because the sink's already been fitted and it is glued to the top. I'm going to have to run the subway tile centered along the back here because grouting it is going to be to get down in there to grout the join line. It is probably doable, but it's not going to be particularly easy. Same with running silicone along the back there. But there will be a mirror fitted here also, so you'll probably never see it. Come back soon and we'll have a look at what it looks like all installed. So it's all screwed off to the wall. Unfortunately I couldn't get any screws in the side into here, but I've got plenty of screws in the back. Unfortunately there's not much behind the wall where I needed to be able to screw it off to, but it's in here really solid. It's not going anywhere. I did fit some, I pulled the whole cabinet back out, fitted some extension pieces to the pipes, cut this backing board piece to cover up the holes that are in the back, and I've just screwed that on there. I thought about gluing it on there, but I've just screwed it on there in case it ever has to come off or anything. It's easy to get to the screws that are holding the cabinet in, which are hidden behind it. Unfortunately I missed the hardware store today, so I'll have to pop in tomorrow to get the little elbow fitting for the waste pipe. I had the extension pieces in stock for another job, so I used them, so I have to grab some more to do the other job. And I've fitted off the kick panel piece along the bottom there. It covers the feet. So I'll get to fitting the vanity top now. It just sits on there and screws on there through those white lugs. And here it is with the vanity top fitted. And the door's on. The water's not plugged up yet. Got the shelf sitting in there. I've just got the pipes capped off for the minute, make sure they don't leak or anything. And I'll get to fitting the waste pipe tomorrow when I get to the hardware store to get some pipe fittings. So far so good, there doesn't appear to be any leaks. I'll hook that up tomorrow. Well, it's next afternoon. I've been to the hardware store, got some plumbing supplies. She's all hooked up. Have water. Wheel silicone around where the water spouts come out of the wall. But other than that, it's all done. So I've changed my mind a little bit. Originally I was going to run a tile in the whole toilet area up to about here, whole way along, all the way down around the back of the toilet, but I've changed my mind. It's a whole lot of work for a guest toilet, and originally I was going to use a matte finish subway tile, but I already had these gloss flat white tiles. I had a box of them left over from a job from years ago, so changed my mind, and to make life easier I'm just going to use these tiles and run them 3 up, so there'll be 300mm up the wall around the back of the sink there, and I'll have some trim, and I'll bring the trim down to the bottom of the vanity top to cover the little gap there, so the trim will run up and around. And for the gap down here, I'll have to wait till I've done the floor tiles, because I'll run a floor tile as skirting board, sort of 100mm up the wall, so that'll come into there and cover that. But I have got a piece of beading that will go in here to cover that gap, which is just down here. So this is the trim that I bought to edge the tiling, and this is the trim I bought to fill in the gap along the edges. So I'll plan out my tiles, do some cuts, mix some glue up, and slap them on the wall. So come back soon and we should have some tiles up. Just working on a little side quest today. It's pulling the wood heater out, because what was the lounge room is now going to be the master bedroom. I've been up on the roof, pulled the flue out. I now have a gaping hole and about to go and patch it up. Well, I've been busy. Jumping ahead a bit, I've started to strip off plaster in the kitchen. As you can see, I've had all the cabinets test fitted and the layout planned out, but now it's time to put the new windows and the sliding door in. So I've got 2.4 sheets, and I was looking at how to go about getting electrical down the walls, because it's very tight up in the ceiling to get access, and a lot of the electrical had to be moved. So end up deciding the easiest way around that was to strip plaster off the walls, and I can go to 2.4 sheets up the wall to where I've cut. So I've got to strip off that section there, and it's going to make it a hell of a lot easier. On another note, the lights for the kitchen, the down lights are in and working, and the light in there, the switch has been moved over here, and ceiling fan is operational. That switch, need a bit. And the rest of the downlights are in here. And they've been put on a dimmer switch. So progress has been made. Been a bit slack with videoing. But I'll finish stripping this plaster off the walls. Can then assess what's structurally got to be done in the walls to put the new windows in. We'll come back soon and might have some windows in. Another quick little update. The electrical got roughed in for the kitchen today. So that one there will be for the fridge. The one above it's for the range hood. It's a power point. The big fat cable there is isolation switch for the oven, and that is for the oven outlet. A couple of benchtop power points, and over this side there is a power point up there for the microwave, one for the toaster hole, and this one comes along, will be in the cupboard for the dishwasher. Tomorrow's job, windows. I'd have to say there's no going back now. There's a pretty big hole in the wall. The window is about to come out and the new one is about to go in. And she's all framed up and ready to go in. And boom, just like that, it's in. I have to dyna bolt a piece of timber along under the bottom there just to support the front edge of the plate of the door. And next job's patch in some weatherboards. Pretty happy with how that's turned out though. And this is the view from the inside. Just working on the second kitchen window now. Old window's out. All the framing's up, ready to slide the new window in. And voila, there is another window in. Go and brew up some weatherboards to patch in the weatherboards on the outside now. And we'll come back and see the result. It's got both windows in now. Well, the sliding door, weatherboards are all patched in. Pretty happy with how it's come up. I'm not too worried about the way the weatherboards look and the cladding on the outside, because all the cladding, aluminium cladding, will be ripped off eventually and the whole house will be reclad. That's the kitchen sink window in. The weatherboard's been patched in. On to finishing off the inside. I've just finished putting all the insulation in the walls, and the electrical is fully roughed in. So the last two walls, now that the windows are in, can have the plaster put up. All the electrical's roughed in inside, and I've had this exterior light installed outside the kitchen. It was only $10 from Bunnings on clearance sale. Probably won't work, but we'll see once it's all connected. And boom, all the plaster is hung on the walls in the kitchen. Now I just have to wait for the plasterer to come and stop it all up for me and finish off some of the other stuff. I need to get this corner finished off. That's where the wood heater flue needs to go up through. I need to do some work up in the ceiling, to some timbering to make room for the hole. But I need this corner finished off before I can install the wood heater. Winter's coming pretty quick, so I need to get onto it. As you can see, I've marked out here where to cut out to install the fire half, and that's where the wood heater will sit, and the centre point mark is where the centre of the flue is, which I used a drop line to centre the hole on the ceiling. I think that's where we'll leave it for this episode. I haven't done any more in the laundry, back porch, mudroom, toilet area, because I realised I can't disable the laundry until I have another functioning sink. So I need to get the kitchen sorted so I can get a kitchen sink installed, so I have running water for utilities, and then I can move back on to finishing off the laundry. But in here, next job is to, once the plastering's finished, is to floor level it. Once the floor leveling's done, tiles can go down and the kitchen cabinets can be installed, which are all sitting here awaiting a bit of love to resurrect them. On the next episode, we might have some progress on actually finishing off some rooms. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, click like, share, subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. Tell your friends and follow along for the next installment of the renovation progress.